After a quick dip below $30,000, Bitcoin bounces into the apex of a key pattern we've been tracking on this channel. All the while, Cardano bouncing over 20%. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into this Bitcoin Cardano video. This is the move on the 6 hour. So, and just as quick as it happens, so many people, the bullishness after this bounce, because at the end of the day, this could turn out to be an amazing move. And I really want to talk about this exact move because trickling down into the apex of this descending triangle, the other day, I may have been wrong about something. And I want to show a clip of me potentially being wrong. There's still some things that need to play out on the charts. And I want to track that. I want to start here real quick. Many of you know this. I made a resolution years ago that I'm invested in crypto for the long term, and any huge dip is to be considered an opportunity. When it comes to my personal plan in crypto, there's no time for fear. There's only time for building. So I just want to get this out there, especially if you're new to watching my videos. I'm not the content creator in crypto that's going to just give you just this 100% confidence of bull or bear either way, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, everybody, that was it. That was the bottom. This is the continuation of the bull market. I'm not going to give you that. I'm also not going to be the person that's like, everybody sell now, buy back cheaper. I'm not going to say those things overconfidently. And I truly don't want to influence anything that you're doing in crypto, but I do want to share data that could be very valuable in your decisions. And this is the thing. We zoom out on Twitter, we zoom out on the charts. Nobody knows exactly the next move. The key basis here is to zoom out on the charts. And I also tweeted this. I think the ones who focus on trying to identify bear market versus bull market will lose out. They're wasting time. And I'm not here to do that either. At the end of the day, this is the chart that matters. It's a zoomed out chart. And what matters is momentum. What matters is overbought versus oversold. What matters is how much of a discount our crypto's at in the long term, in the long, grand scheme of things, because I'm here long term. And though we're going to zoom in on the charts, I just want to preface this video by saying that, everybody, this is what's important. And when you start zooming out on the charts, you really just, you throw fear out the window. It just happens naturally, organically. You don't even have to try to not be fearful in these environments because you have your plan. If there's downside, you see the opportunity amidst the fear. It's like you're in a movie, you're zoomed in on this noisy city streets, right? At the beginning of a movie. And then all of a sudden, if the camera just pans out, and it's like Earth is in the distance, and then it's just quiet. That's what it is. Zoom out. Sometimes it's best to just step away from Twitter and crypto social media. But let's talk about this move. This is the big move for Bitcoin. We've visited the $30,000 area. We broke below it, and currently in the current 6 hour candle, an hour 14 minutes left, Bitcoin broke back into the apex. So let me break this down for you. This was a video. The last Bitcoin failsafe I did 4 days ago. We were above, you can see in the clip of this video, we were above the apex. We were around $35,000 above the support area. Check this out. Check this out. I'll show a clip of this if I'm wrong. Bitcoin's already tested 30,000 1, 2, 3 times. I don't think Bitcoin's going to trickle back down here and then we're going to get our break to the upside. I think if Bitcoin's testing this $30,000 area, even if we get a bounce off of it short term, I just think I don't think it's going to be good for Bitcoin. Okay, so here we go. We actually did make the move to 30, and so far we've actually bounced. And so far, we have to let this play out, but I might have been wrong in this video. And this is going to be very interesting, and I will call myself out again if this plays out and Bitcoin actually bounces away, continuation of the bull market from this area. But we've visited the apex, and the reason this is such an important move is because we have a descending triangle here. Now, in terms of descending triangles, we get a lot of different data points, but a couple things. 60%, and this is descending triangle data in bull market results. This is on the patternsite.com. This is Balkowski. I love his work. I use a lot of his work integrated into my technical analysis. 60% of the time, a throwback rate, right? So what that means is 60% of the time you'll have Bitcoin break out of the upside or downside, or I'm sorry, of the upside for the throwback. The pullback would be downside and a pullback to apex. But right now we're talking about the throwback to the apex. We got it, right? So that's that 60% of the time. Now, the thing that's so intriguing about this is the apex lower trend line down here where we hit this $30,000 area multiple times is if you go back to this chart, that $30,000 area, and I'm just going to chart it real quick, that bull market high of 2017 to bear market low 2018, just trying to chart this. This 1618 line is the $30,000 vicinity. If there's going to be support anywhere on a bull market, on a macro chart, it would be at that 1618. Furthermore, we chart the same exact cycle, the cycle macro Fibonacci from that 2013 bull market high to the 2015 bear market low. Bitcoin, and we talked about this so often in recent weeks, if not months. Bitcoin also revisited the 1618 line right here for support in the middle of that bull market. If there's anywhere where Bitcoin's going to see support on the macro, it's right here, and it is playing out on the screen. So, right now, if we go back, this is what it looks like on the micro chart. This is a 6-hour chart. It's this, you could have never foreseen how Bitcoin, and here's that yellow 1618 line on the macro. You could never have foreseen what type of consolidation, what type of setup or pattern would be playing out for Bitcoin to see support at the 1618. But this is what it looks like. It's a descending triangle with a breakout to the upside and a throwback to the apex. And we're in the apex right now. We are right there. And Bitcoin right now at such an just incredible area in terms of technical analysis, like all across the board, just ridiculous area. And what I mentioned in that video is I was mentioning, I don't think Bitcoin's gonna, and I can't even see a clip of the screen right now. Bitcoin makes some, I said, I don't think Bitcoin's gonna make a bounce off of the apex or actually here it is. I don't think it's gonna make a bounce off of this apex and just continue to the upside. I think we might get a bounce off the apex, see resistance, and continue down. And I'm really curious to see how this plays out right now, because right now, and this has been the story for so long, just tracking these lower highs of Bitcoin, trying to flip the momentum from bear to bull. And we're going to continue doing that, right? So every step of the way, I mean, Bitcoin has a ways to go now. And you can chart multiple different, if you're on the hourly versus the 6-hour, you're going to have different lower high areas. But if we were on an hourly, this would be charted very clearly. This is a 6-hour. It's a swing high to swing low, that capitulation little area that we just saw. And you can see the resistance for Bitcoin in the short term, for Bitcoin to start its very reversal that we want to see. We're right there. I mean, 33,200 to the 786, 34,500. This area is kind of this lower high area Bitcoin kind of might see and continue down, right? And this is the type of stuff I look for. And people get irritated at me because I'm always using Fibonacci. I'm always charting these lower highs. And then from there, I'm always trying to chart the higher low support areas to see if there's actual true bullish momentum. People get annoyed with me talking about Fibonacci so much, but I'm telling you, it's so reliable. And it's just the best way, in my opinion, when you're on the short-term charts to really get a grasp of who's in charge here, the bulls or the bears. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. We got the revisit to the apex. We got even the bounce above 30,000. How will the 6-hour candle close? Probably more importantly, a more important question. If we look at the daily chart, how will the daily candle close? And will Bitcoin start making its way through this very short-term resistance area? And really, the most crucial of all crucial resistance areas is on the daily now. And this is a little bit more of a midterm move we might have to wait for, which is swing high to swing low that we just put in. And this is the true area of midterm reversal that could lead us back into the bull market, which is 38,700 to 36,500. That's that lower high area on the daily. And I actually want to note this. The breakout target of this descending triangle, it's in that $48,000 to $50,000 vicinity. What's so interesting about that area is if you go to the weekly chart, This is the 20-week moving average. It's that area where I really was saying for a while, it would make a lot of sense if at the very least Bitcoin just made a move to that area, even if we continue down. That's what happened in the beginning of the last bear market, tested that 20-week moving average over and over again. The best case scenario would be is if we could get that test to see what Bitcoin does, that would be awesome if it happens. And the setup could be on the 6 hour. If we get this perfect, throwback to the apex, breakout through this resistance, and we make that way to the $48,000 to $50,000 area for Bitcoin. So let's pivot over to, ADA. I tweeted this just a little bit ago. I said ADA is up 550% for the year, and Cardano is just getting started. I'll say this, and this is why I started the video here. Zoom out, and this is the reason I made the resolution. If I can see the bigger picture, and if I can invest long term, I can get rid of the emotionality when we're getting all the volatility, because volatility is not going anywhere. And Cardano is up 550% for the year. It's ridiculous. Cardano is just an insane year for Cardano. Look at this weekly chart. And even still, it's in this macro consolidation up here. It hasn't even really, it's barely below the 20-week moving average. I think it's like 10% or so away from that green line right here. You have to be very cautious though, right? Cardano is in this downtrend on the weekly. And if Bitcoin's entering this, longer term dip, you want to be ready for it. That's all. You just want to be ready for it. And we'll track the bullish reversal as it happens, if it happens. But right now there's weekly momentum to the downside, and you just want to be prepared. You want to have the mental fortitude to just be ready for something like that. What I will say, again, I'll revert back to this tweet. Cardano is just getting started. And it really is. This is why I've been so bullish on Cardano. The completion of the Goguen era is happening soon, very soon. And what has happened, the building blocks that have been set in place for Cardano through Goguen, just ridiculous. So part of this says, as well as adding functionality in the form of smart contracts, coming in September, Goguen will also see improvements to the core Cardano offering. Most significantly, the addition of multi-currency ledger will extend the usefulness of Cardano even further, enabling users to create new natively supported tokens. This will allow the creation of fungible and non-fungible tokens, supporting the creation of new cryptocurrencies on Cardano, as well as the tokenization of many types of digital and physical assets. Do you realize the ecosystem? And we're already starting to see it. I've been covering different tokens, that are starting to build on Cardano, tokens that are getting ready to come over to Cardano. I've been doing videos on these things. Another benefit will be easier integration of smart contracts and dApps involving multiple cryptocurrencies. And again, that story of bullishness, what's being built on Cardano and the Cardano ecosystem, I've just said it time and time again, right? The staking that so many of us are taking part in, the multi-asset ledger here with Mary Hard Fork, and then smart contracts coming up here in September, and ultimately the completion of Goguen era. I can't stress enough. This is why I'm so bullish on Cardano. And I tried to kind of interject this tone of all through this consolidation. How many times did we talk about potentially 50 cent, 60, 70 cent, 80 cent Cardano, right? There's always these setups that are potentially in play for Cardano to come down in this general region. And I want us to always be prepared for that. Even though I am so bullish on Cardano long term, I do want us to be prepared for those things. So zooming in on the daily chart, something interesting I just want to talk about. In the case that Bitcoin makes this ridiculous epic move of continuation off of this descending triangle, if you look at Cardano here on the daily chart, if you look at, let me get my brush here, this 200-day moving average, after Shelly Hard Fork, we had that, just swing high here. And Cardano just consolidated. We've talked about this so many times into the 200-day moving average. And you can see this bounce here, 200-day moving average. It's a very big dip for Cardano. We're talking about, ultimately almost 60%, 55 to 60% dip to the 200-day moving average. Now, Cardano right now, post Mary hard fork back here, finally, we saw all-time high in the midst of this. I mean, this entire chart looks ridiculous. It's very choppy. It really is. But even so, look how Cardano just hitting the 200-day moving average right now. So it's going to be really interesting if at the end of the day, a month from now, 2 months from now, we're zooming out on this chart and Cardano actually bounced off of the 200-day moving average again, similar to what happened in the post-Shelley hard fork. And then we continued into Mary hard fork here with this crazy gains. And if Cardano continues into Alonzo, the completion of smart contracts off of this 200-day moving average, it would be too obvious almost. So it's going to be interesting. The 200-day moving average around 98 cents right now. And we can start digging into, well, what's this current move look like on the charts? And here it is. This is the 6 hour. And it's just this story of lower lows and lower highs, really since all-time high back here. And we've just been tracking the consolidation. And, you have to be very cautious in this atmosphere because at the end of the day, Cardano's below the symmetrical triangle. We broke the lower trend line. There's a target down here to the 60 to 70 cent range. This is a 6 hour chart, but the 50-day moving average is up here in the $1.62 area. On top of the 50-day, we have the $1.50 crucial area. We're, over 25 cents below that area. And now we have the 20-week moving average that we are below. This is what it looks like on the 6 hour chart. It's right around $1.33. Look at all of these resistance areas we wanted to see support, and Cardano is below it. It's below it on the 6 hour. So we had an epic bounce off of this swing low that we just had. Again, over 20% bounce. Right now, we're up around 20% on the 6 hour. But, and again, this is where people kind of get irritated at me a little bit because I keep talking about lower lows and lower highs. And I keep talking about the potential for breaking that pattern, but it is what it is. This is how I objectively look at the short-term charts. This is what's happening. We've gotten this swing high, which was we hit resistance. I don't know if you remember, this was just the other day where we get this nice bounce, and it was probably one of those videos I did, the be cautious type of video, because we're not out of the woods, and we weren't. We just dipped again. But that swing high to resistance to that swing low we just put in, we have this new area of lower high resistance. These lower high resistance, they keep getting lower and lower. We're talking about the 618 around $1.27 to the 786 around $1.36. That's the new area for Cardano to break. Even on the short term, Cardano, it's a very nice bounce. It's a nice 6 hour. This could be the very beginning. It really could be. And we have to track this over the day ahead as Cardano sits at $1.22. This could be the very beginning of the reversal we want to see, but I'm telling you, you have to wait, or at least I do. I shouldn't tell you what you do. I have to wait. I have to wait for confirmations because I can't get excited in these little pumps, right? In these bounces. I can't get excited. I can't get excited until we start flipping it. We start flipping the story from bearish control to bullish control. That looks like Bitcoin or Cardano breaking that resistance, potentially coming back down, putting in a higher low support at higher low support Fibonacci, and then continuing to the upside. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm looking for. That's when I'll start maybe sounding a little bit more bullish. But in the short term, I like to be very cautious just so I don't get wrapped up in the emotion of things. That's just me. That's something that I learned. And so if you really dig into this on the hourly, this is what the hourly looks like. And there's our Fibonacci resistance that I just charted up here on the 6 hour. That resistance, once again, $1.36 to $1.28. Look at this. On the very short term, like literally right now type of short term, this little swing high to this swing low we just put in. This is the very short term. As I do this video real time short term, Fibonacci resistance, Cardano just above it. So this again could be the very, very beginning of the bullish reversal, but we have to be patient. And we have to see. I want to show you this. This is CCV3, the newest Cardano stake pool for Crypto Capital Venture. Check this out. New Cardano entering 1 minute ago. New Cardano entering 3 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago. This is somebody transferring from another pool. Here's new Cardano entering 28 minutes ago. Look at this. New Cardano entering. Somebody moving out of the stake pool to another stake pool. Everybody. And if we can scroll down here, people were definitely selling a little bit. I saw some sells in the last few hours across some pools. Or at the very least, just people taking it out of delegation, right? There's a huge one. But there's a lot of new Cardano being accumulated and staked right now. And it says a lot, I think, in terms of just what's happening with on-metric data. And I think it's something to really track, to continue tracking. And we're going to continue doing that. So those are my thoughts, everybody. How are you all doing? Hit the like button if you're here right now. If you're long on Bitcoin and Cardano, if you're hanging in there right now, unemotionally. And I know, a lot of it, when you're zoomed in on these charts, a lot of it can be very emotional. It can be very volatile. But if you're hanging in there, somebody said blank screen. Just want to make sure you guys can see my screen. CS says long-term hodl, best bet. Not a bad play. I agree. It's the unemotional bet. JJ say, is it a good time to buy now? Listen, a good time to buy now is so personal. It's just so different for everybody. I mean, $1.20 could be a great time for you to buy right now, but it really depends on your scenario. It really, truly does. I can't say that enough. You have to collect all of the data, see where your portfolio is. Are you long? Like, are you a short-term trader? I don't know. If you're long on Cardano, $1.20, just in my opinion, is going to be a cheap price. And that's just my opinion. Brandon says he's so scared to say he feels bearish. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Just inform us. So, dude, I'll 100% speak to that. I mean, I'm not scared to say I'm bearish. What I'm more scared of is to always say how bullish I am. That's the problem. Cardano, like, what is this tweet? Cardano is just getting started. I am so bullish on Cardano, and I try not to overstate that, because I don't want people to be like, I don't want to influence people to be overly bullish when we have these potential short-term moves to the downside. Short-term, I think it's best to just be cautious, right? It's a bearish move when we're breaking the lower trend line of these symmetrical triangles. It's a bearish move when we're below all of this resistance and we've struggled to get back above. We have our target to the downside. It doesn't mean I'm bearish talking about 60 to 70 cents. I just know it's realistic. It's in play. Notice how it drops right into this long-term Fibonacci area of, from my perspective, accumulation. What that is the bear market low to the bull market high. This green channel here, we're sitting right above it, potentially a bounce of support. It could continue in the bull market. But this area here is kind of that first area of, if you're keen on accumulating, right? It could be an amazing discount. Cardano already discounted over 50%. I'm definitely not scared to say I'm bearish, everybody. I'm more scared, I'm more worried, more cautious to say how bullish I am on Cardano and the long-term trajectory of these charts. And that's 100% the truth. And I just want to throw it out there. So how else is everybody doing? What's up, UK? Welcome, UK. Too much bullish news to agree with the bears, but they're taking advantage of new retail holders. I think there's manipulation all across the markets. The problem is new retail holders, they're not used to it. They're not used to how to play the game, the crypto game. And truly, in the grand scheme of things, zoomed out on the charts, everybody, it's accumulating and holding has just always been the best play. Dollar cost averaging has always been, and look, this Dapper Crypto, always buy, dollar cost average, DCA all day. It's just been the best play. And it's, that goes with so many just different disclaimers, like don't spend more money than you could afford to lose, all of that stuff. It's just historically been the best play. KC Radstar, you can put in YouTube CCV how to stake Cardano, and you'll see a couple tutorials of me showing you how to stake. It literally takes maybe 1 minute to stake. You want to do it in our CCV3 pool though, our new one. Somebody said talk about ADA BTC. Here's ADA BTC. You know, ouch, right? Ouch, but not ouch. Ouch only because back here I was just like, man, Cardano's looking strong. Cardano's like ready to go. And the opposite happened. It's, you know, it's another scenario where I was not right in terms of what I was seeing. We continued to downside. We talked about the 50-day moving average here. I think we talked about that area. That's failed. Cardano at least putting in a daily candle, maybe a green daily candle. Maybe we can get a swing to the upside. What's most important is to switch this over to a weekly, and you can just see anytime on any chart you have overextension from the 20-week moving average on the macro level, it's what you want to see, right? Because we always have that cushion just to put in a higher low on the macro. And right now with smart contracts on the way, that's what I see. You know, you can zoom in on a chart, Cardano looks ugly against BTC. You zoom out on the weekly chart, Cardano looks like it's kind of in a power play. And this is with smart contracts. This is with so many things going on in the Cardano ecosystem. And, you know, there's still a lot of separation between that 20-week moving average. There's so much room for Cardano to put in a higher low anywhere in here, if not right here on the ADA BTC pair. So, you know, how you play around with your ADA BTC, you know, trades or whatever you're doing out there, that's 100% up to you. But again, just zoomed out on the chart, I think Cardano on the ADA BTC pair doesn't look terrible. I would have absolutely just thought it would be epic if going back to the daily, because Cardano was hanging in there. I don't know if you remember, but Cardano was just hanging in there up here. Just a few weeks ago, would have been epic to continue to the upside, but it's all good. Zoom out on those charts. Akshay, you rock, brother Dan. I'm already in CCV2. Thanks for staking. Anybody that is staking, thank you for staking. You know, I really appreciate you. You know, and just to be transparent with everybody, because I get a lot of comments on Twitter, you know, it's a business for me. It's one arm of Crypto Capital Venture, the stake pools, you know, and that's how the protocol was designed, to be able to do this, to be able to build. And I want you to know I'm building the business. That's what we're doing. But I also want to let you know, and if you follow me on Twitter, you might know this, we're doing really good things. And we want to contribute in many different ways. I'm trying to brainstorm some things to be able to help smaller pool operators, because that's where I'm getting a lot of the hate. But I also don't want to just, you know, I worked my butt off for years to even be able to have a platform that I could utilize for marketing. And like, I want to help smaller pool operators, but I don't want to just, you know, throw handouts, right? And I'm trying to brainstorm a cool way to be able to do that, because, you know, I want to help the ecosystem. I want to help smaller operators, but this is a free market ecosystem. Everybody has equal opportunity to grow this thing. I put in ton of overtime work and sacrifice to be able to have the platform to market. But just know, I mean, my heart is genuinely in the right place as I grow this business. And I want to do a lot of good. Me and Sarah want to do a lot of good with these things. So I appreciate all of you guys. I got to go. I got to bounce. Let's see what happens. Really interesting move on both Bitcoin and Cardano. Let's see. Bitcoin hitting this apex. We'll be very, very, very intrigued to see which way it breaks from here. This is the daily chart. Right in the middle too. You know, upper trend line around 33,500, lower trend line just below around 30,000, 31,000. Time will tell. Everybody hit the subscribe, hit the like. Thank you so much for coming by. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.